everybody. Today we're going to talk about business English and especially about storytelling. Before we just get started, I would like to know more about you. Can you just tell me about your stories, like your favorite stories? Yes, go ahead. Oh, Oliver Twist, yes. Oliver Twist is one of my favorite stories. What about you? You, Sarah, go ahead, yeah. Oh, that looks good, yeah, Aladdin. That's one of the very old or like very ancient Arab stories and I absolutely like it. What else? Tell me more. Let's connect it a little bit to the business. Like, do you know any business stories that help people to sell a lot or like that help people to change their mentality about a brand or about a company? Yes, you, Yusuf. Yes, that sounds fantastic. Yes, Steve Jobs, one of the people who changed the whole mentality about Apple, right? And helped them to sell a lot of product when it comes to the iPhone, the Macintosh, and also the iPad and the iBook through storytelling, through telling stories about their product. Yeah, what else? Yes. Okay, yeah. Also, like I can relate also to other businesses. Like I think when it comes to Coca-Cola, they told a lot of stories in their ads, in their advertisements to tell people that they deliver happiness. Okay, so all these things help you to build your brand, help you to change the mentality or like how people think about you. And I think we all are affected by stories, whether when we are young, like when we act in values, everything about our life, and everything about our reaction sometimes is affected by stories. Okay, that's really good so far. Let's right now connect the story of how exactly the story is told. Like usually, for example, let's talk about Aladdin. Aladdin is a poor boy in the city of Arabia, like an Arabic country, and he is a boy that is living without any problems. Then comes his uncle, Abu Nazar, tells him, okay, let me take you, let me make you rich, and life goes on until he is into a problem, and when you are into a problem, that's the middle of the story, right? Okay, what else? What's after that? Comes the solution. Yeah, like if you have a problem, you're waiting for a solution, and people really pay attention when the problem gets more difficult, which is called the climax, and we're going to discuss that more later on. Okay, so far so good. Do you have any questions about this first part? Yes, you. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. How exactly we can relate our stories regarding our business? That's something that we're going to discuss. What else? Do you have any other questions? Everything is good? Yes, great. Okay, so right now I'm going to give you some paper that's going to be one of the stories about business. Okay, we're going to read it together. Okay, because like we all here, like we are salespeople, right? Yes, we all work in sales. Yeah, so we're going to read a story about a person who works in sales, and we're going to see how exactly he delivers his message and he delivers his value into a story. Okay, before we get started, let me ask you a question. What is the most important qualities that you care about when it comes to being a salesperson? Yes. Yeah, you. Hannah, go ahead. Great. Yes. Okay, so she said being data driven, focus on data. Okay, what else? Numbers. Yeah, numbers are data. Yeah, what else? I agree with you. Numbers are really important when it comes to sales. Yes. Okay, you, go ahead. Oh, yes, that's also a very good quality, being honest with your people, with the people you work with. Okay, that sounds really good, and I think these qualities are really related to our today's story. Okay, so I'm going to let you read the story in a couple of minutes, then I will go and narrate it myself. Okay, that sounds good? Yeah. You have 2 minutes, just read the story, and you can feel free to discuss the story whether you like it or not with your peers within 2 minutes, then we'll be back to reflect more on the story. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I hope you like the story, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I think it's not really the best story. He could have made it better. Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, sometimes stories we can even add more to stories to make them better. But just as the general idea, did you like it? That sounds wonderful. Okay, so right now, what did you like about the story? Share with me more. Yes, he made it personal. Yeah, related to your culture. Yes, that's good. Oh yeah, in the beginning you were catched, right? Like you felt it's catchy. There is a hook, like somebody trying to catch you to learn more about the story and like this person. Yes, exactly. The way the story is told, right? Yes, that sounds great. Okay, so all these are really good components of telling a story. What else? Alright, so that's really good. I want you right now to try to take a couple of minutes. Try to brainstorm about your stories that you had in your business. Like everybody of you worked in sales, and I believe everybody of you have some stories. Just like, as the brainstorming, you just draw a circle like this one, okay? So you can write here like stories or that happened before, and you can start to think and brainstorm some ideas. Okay, somebody in the first year of my life when I started working in sales, or the second year, or a problem that happened to me when I didn't have so much enough experience, or some problems that happen that customers usually ask you, or clients usually ask you, okay, and how exactly you acted in a very perfect way and a very nice way as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. So I want you to try to brainstorm some of the stories, and also think of the qualities and the values that you usually try to deliver. Like in this story you find he's trying to deliver that he is focused on numbers and he is focused on education. He helps his clients to think more and to be educated. It's not just about selling, but it's about I understand your situation, and let's try to dive into this question together. Okay, and also think of how exactly you can catch the attention. Like he said, oh, I milk mixed with tea, which is something that is more cultural when it comes to Egyptians. So try to put all this together, okay, and just try to brainstorm. No matter how silly the idea is or the story is, just don't worry about that. We're going to refine it later. Okay, you take your time. I'll be just monitoring you. If anybody needs questions, anybody needs vocabulary, I will help you with everything. Just feel free to ask, okay? Hey guys, right now I want you to take a couple of minutes, okay? Try to structure the story, like what will happen first, what will happen then, okay? What will happen in the end, and how exactly we can put that into something that is coherent, something that makes sense for any reader. Okay, take your time, and I'm still monitoring you. Anybody needs any questions, I'm very happy you ask me some questions when you're brainstorming. And yeah, okay, which means that how much time do you spend commuting from a city to another. There's also the cost benefit analysis, okay, which means that you're trying to analyze the cost and the benefit from a certain property, or the long time, or the long-term investments on a property. All these are going to be very enjoyable and very important, ideas that you can put, things that are really from your own business, and integrating them into the story. That will be very important as well. Take your time, start to structure, and then I want you to go ahead and write the story, and feel free to make it not the best story, but just in a coherent way, and we're going to refine it together later on. You have 3 minutes to structure it, and you have then 5 minutes to write the story, okay? Okay guys, so right now, as we have mentioned, so I want you to try to structure your story, try to put it into a structure, starting from the beginning, then as we said, the complication or the problem, then we have the solution. Okay, and the solution tells you a message. As you said, in this business, you don't only sell, you educate, for example. Okay, so you try to add the message at the end, and you try in the beginning just catchy, like you try to catch through like some anecdotes, something that happened to you before, and you take it step by step. Okay, then after that, okay, I'm going to be mingling around you, or like monitoring around you. Just feel free. If you have any question, you would like to know some vocabulary to use, you would like to know a certain expression or a certain idiom that would fit into a certain position, just ask me and feel free. We're just like practicing together. Okay. All right. Right now, like I want you to start writing your own first draft. And why I say first draft? Because writing is a process, guys. Like you don't write the best story from the first time. What do? You first write a draft. Okay. What is a draft? It's the story, but like in the first time you try to put everything you want to put. Sometimes you put things that are not really fantastic, not really great, but you start writing. Okay, we're going to do our first draft. Just take from 5 to 7 minutes. Feel free to write everything you want to say. Then we're going to have a look at it again. Okay, as I told you, it's a workshop, it's a way of practice, and it just depends on time. Like by time you improve it more. Okay. Alright, that is really great. Right now, like I want you, we have finished writing the first draft. I want you to start to stand up together, everybody, okay, and try to mingle, okay? What do I mean by that? Like I just want you, everybody, like just get to know each other here, okay, and get to tell each other the stories. Like you here, what's your name? Yes, Bilal. Okay, so Bilal, like you will come to Ahmed. Tell him the story. Then, like Ahmed, you will go to Sarah. Tell her the story. I want you all tell each other the stories, and then we're going to have feedback. Like we're going to discuss together what are things that we can make it better in the stories. What are things that are wonderful that you can take and write into your own story as well. Okay? Just feel free to learn from each other, and after 3 minutes, we're going to continue. I'm going to ask you about what vocabulary you learned from other stories, what things you can adapt from other stories to yours, and what things that you really recommend that we remove them from the other stories so it becomes better. Okay? We're going to learn from each other, so just feel free. Don't feel any kind of embarrassment. Feel free to tell your story. If you don't feel free to tell the story, let anybody else read it from the paper. So we're just learning. Okay? Take your time. Perfect, guys. I really like the way you try to mingle around the class, and I absolutely like the way you made your feedback kind of sandwich. Like we saw Salma here, she's saying, okay, what I liked is that he wrote the story and it was catchy, yet like there is no message at the end, which is something she really recommended, would have made it better. And then she also gives the best point about making the story following the directions, which is starting with the beginning, then you have the complication, then you have the end or the resolution. Okay, so I really like this way of telling the feedback, and I want you to keep it the same. Okay, right now let's together continue. I want you right now to sit down again, start writing the final, as we can say, the final copy or the final version of the story. Okay, feel free to write it. Like we'll have up to 5 minutes. Just make sure that that's the best copy that is going to be for this one. We may edit it again later. As I told you, writing is a process that never ends. Yet, we want to try to do our best. Okay, just feel free to ask me still about any idioms, any expressions that you would like to add into your writing, and I'm here around. Okay, good. Anybody has any questions? Yeah, that's great. Continue. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, guys, so I really enjoyed all these stories. So right now, let's go ahead. I want you to try to vote right now for the story that you think that's the best one. Which one? Yeah, Salma's story. Okay, Salma's story. Like, if anybody agrees that that's the best story, just raise your hand. Oh, 1, 2, 3. That's good. Okay, so 3 think that Salma's story is the best. Okay, what about Omar's story? Okay, like if anybody agrees that Omar's story is the best one, just raise your hand, guys. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 7, 8, Oh, 9 people think that Omar's story is wonderful. Okay, so right now we can listen to Omar's story and I will give you the feedback. Okay, Omar, can you come here and yes, that sounds great. Okay, you can go ahead. Okay, guys, so I really enjoyed Omar's story. First of all, I would like to hear from you. Like, what do you think of Omar's story? It was wonderful? Yes, that's good. Yeah, what else? Do you think, like, he followed the way we talks about? Not really? Yeah, so story writing or storytelling is not something really strict. Like, we can change it a little bit, right? Yeah, that's good. What else? Yes, it was wonderful because he also, he had kind of a sense of humor, right? Yes, exactly. Like, just have a sense of humor in case you think it is appropriate in telling your story. Just feel free, your audience and your people, and you just talk it together. Yes, what else? You think he could have made it better? How? Yes, exactly. He used, in some certain places, he used the present tense when he talks about something that happened in the past, right? For example, can you tell me? Yeah, the word dedicate. He said, I dedicate my work, and he should have said, yeah, I'm dedicated, or I dedicated, some time to work. Okay. Do you know any expressions we can use to say that he dedicated a lot of time to work on some project? Perfect. Yes, you can say I burned the midnight oil, right? So you can say, and I burned the midnight oil trying to work on this project to make sure that I get the best result, right? So this is an expression that people would like. Okay. All right. What else do you think? What else do you think is good? I think also he was able to tell the story in a nice way when he came here. That's one of the good things. And when you tell a story, you should be a little bit enthusiastic about it, right? Yes, that's good. Let me ask you, anybody has questions so far? Okay, so what we're going to do as just a kind of assessment, just in order to make sure that you guys, can tell more stories. When we will finish and everybody is okay, I want you, after we finish today, you have the deadline until tomorrow, you just record yourself or make a video like this one, telling the story that you have written and upload it on any of the platforms and send me the link, okay? I would like to see you speaking about your stories and make sure that you are incorporating the techniques that we learned today, okay? Sounds good? Okay guys, I really enjoyed talking to you today and I hope you have a great day. Bye.